Your brain is not a filing cabinet. It does not think in straight, boring lines. It thinks radially, exploding with ideas from a central point, much like the branches of a tree or the rays of the sun. This is the essence of radiant thinking, the natural way your mind works. To unlock its full potential, we must use tools that mirror this process. Traditional note-taking, with its endless lists and linear structure, confines your brain. It forces your magnificent, multi-dimensional thinking into a one-dimensional cage, stifling creativity and making learning a chore. True learning should be a joyful adventure of discovery, not a tedious march through monotonous text. Imagine you want to understand a big idea, not just from one perspective, but from many. This is the heart of syntopic revision. It is the art of reading and understanding multiple sources on the same topic, not just to collect facts, but to build a new, richer understanding. You are not just a passive receiver of information, you become a conductor, orchestrating a symphony of different voices and ideas. You compare, you contrast, and you synthesize. You ask questions like, what do all these authors agree on, and where do their ideas diverge? This process transforms learning from simple memorization into a dynamic conversation between you and the greatest minds in a field. A mind map is the perfect visual tool to capture this conversation. It is a diagram that starts with a central idea and branches out with associated concepts, words, and images. Each branch represents a key thought, and smaller sub-branches explore those thoughts in greater detail. Unlike linear notes, a mind map uses color, images, and keywords to engage your whole brain. It speaks the language of your mind, making connections instantly visible and memorable. It is a mirror of your own radiant thinking, a personal map of your intellectual journey that allows you to see the big picture and the fine details all at once. When you bring these two powerful concepts together, something magical happens. Syntopic revision provides the rich, diverse ingredients, while the mind map provides the perfect kitchen to cook up a masterpiece of understanding. You are no longer just learning, you are actively constructing knowledge in a way that is both organic and structured. This combination respects the natural architecture of your brain, allowing you to learn faster, remember more, and think with greater clarity and creativity. It is about working with your brain's preferred style, not against it, turning the often difficult task of learning into an exhilarating and deeply rewarding experience. Let's walk through how to create a powerful learning tool by merging these two methods. Imagine our topic is the future of renewable energy. Your first step is to gather your sources. This isn't just about grabbing the first few books you see. You need a variety of voices, a scientific journal, a government report, an article by an environmental activist, and perhaps a piece from a business magazine. This diversity is crucial for a true syntopic understanding. You are building a council of experts within your own mind, each with a unique viewpoint on the future of our planet's energy needs and solutions. Now you begin your syntopic reading. As you go through each source, your goal is not to memorize every single detail. Instead, you are on a quest for the main ideas, the key arguments, and the unique terminology each author uses. You should actively look for the core questions they are trying to answer. For our example, one source might focus on the economic viability of solar power, while another might emphasize the environmental impact of wind turbines. You are a detective, hunting for clues and connections, building a neutral vocabulary that allows you to discuss all the sources' ideas on a common ground. This is where your mind map comes to life. Begin with a central image representing renewable energy's future. Let it be colorful and engaging, perhaps a sun and a wind turbine combined. Then draw your main branches, which will be the key themes you discovered during your syntopic reading. These might be solar power, wind energy, geothermal, economic factors, and environmental impact. These main branches act as the primary structure of your newfound knowledge, the main pillars upon which your deeper understanding will be built. Each one should be a single, powerful keyword. With the main branches in place, you can now start weaving in the details from your different sources. Use smaller, thinner sub-branches to add specific points, data, and arguments. Here is the key. Use different colors or symbols to represent each source. For instance, all points from the scientific journal could be in blue, while the activist arguments are in green. This instantly shows you who said what. You can draw lines between related ideas on different branches, visually linking, for example. an economic argument about solar panels to an environmental benefit, creating a rich tapestry of interconnected knowledge. The first reason this combined method is so superior to traditional studying is that it builds a web of knowledge, not a list of facts. Traditional notes create isolated pieces of information, like a stack of bricks. A mind map built through syntopic revision, however, creates a spider web. Every idea is connected to others in multiple ways. This interconnected structure mirrors how your brain's neurons work, forming strong, resilient pathways. When you want to recall a piece of information, you don't have to find one specific brick. You can pull on any thread of the web, and the related concepts will come along with it, making recall faster and more reliable. The second powerful advantage is the ability to see the gaps. When you lay out all the information from different sources on a single visual plane, the empty spaces become glaringly obvious. You might notice that while your sources extensively cover the technology of solar and wind power, none of them delve deeply into the challenges of energy storage. This gap is not a failure, it is an invitation. It highlights areas where your knowledge is incomplete, pointing you toward further research. Traditional notes hide these gaps in pages of dense text, but a mind map illuminates them, turning you into a more critical and self-aware learner. The third pillar of this method's success is its remarkable ability to reveal patterns. As you visually map out the arguments from various authors, you start to see the bigger picture. You can spot where experts agree, forming a solid foundation of consensus. More excitingly, you can identify the key points of debate and controversy, which are often the most interesting and important areas of any subject. This high-level view allows you to synthesize information, to form your own unique conclusions based on a comprehensive understanding of the landscape. You are no longer just repeating what you've read, you are generating new insights. These three benefits, building webs, seeing gaps, and finding patterns, transform you from a passive student into an active architect of your own intellect. Traditional methods like rereading text or summarizing chapters one by one keep you at the surface level of learning. They are slow, inefficient, and frankly, quite boring for your amazing brain. The mind map and syntopic revision combination engages your analytical and creative faculties, making learning a dynamic process of construction. It leads to a deeper, more permanent understanding that you can apply, question, and build upon for the rest of your life. To keep your mind maps as powerful living documents, you must maintain them with care. One of the most important habits is to review them periodically. A quick 5-minute glance at a mind map from a week ago can reactivate the neural pathways you created, solidifying the information in your long-term memory. Don't just look at it passively, engage with it. Ask yourself questions. Can you explain a main branch without looking at the sub-branches? This active recall is what cements learning. Also, don't be afraid to update your maps as you learn more. A mind map is not a static monument, it is a growing garden that you should tend to. Another practical tip is to embrace your own style and make it personal. Your mind map is for you. Use colors that have meaning to you. Draw doodles and symbols that help you remember key concepts. The more personal and unique your map is, the more memorable it will be. Use thick lines for main branches and thinner lines for smaller details to create a clear visual hierarchy. Don't worry about making it a perfect work of art. The goal is clarity and association, not artistic perfection. The very act of drawing, choosing colors, and placing ideas on the page is part of the learning process itself. Furthermore, make your mind maps accessible. Don't hide them away in a forgotten notebook. If it's a physical map, put it up on a wall where you can see it often. If you're using digital mind mapping software, make the file a shortcut on your desktop. The more you encounter the information visually, the more it becomes a natural part of your mental landscape. Think of your mind maps as intellectual dashboards. They should provide you with an at-a-glance overview of your most important knowledge, ready to be consulted whenever you need a quick refresh or a spark of inspiration for a new project. Ultimately, I encourage you to see mind mapping not just as a study technique, but as a way of thinking. Use it to plan your day, brainstorm solutions to problems, prepare for meetings, or even outline a book. It is a universal key that can unlock the potential of your brain in any area of your life. It is your thinking partner, a tool that helps you externalize your thoughts so you can clarify, connect, and create. Move beyond rote memorization and embrace a method that aligns with the brilliant, radiant nature of your own mind. Start your first mind map today and begin your journey toward truly effective learning.